conversation,
Have the audio version down pat.
I can't wait to see this brisket that I'm hearing so much about.
It's so delicious.
Very good.
Like, and in all actuality, like having the camera only on Justin's brisket is really doing it the service it deserves, because it was so good. But yeah, like it's just a horrible fail.
Oh man, when you were like, "Oh, did this thing die?" And like we were done. Like, oh no.
Oh god, dude, I'm so mad at myself. I did not think about the stupid timer on that thing, and then like it just doesn't make any sense to me why, like, when it goes over the allotted time, it doesn't save that video.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, nope, you went over. Like, that's that. Like, fucking goodbye.
Yeah. Sorry. Should have planned better.
Oh, did I already kill it? Did I already kill it?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
I like that intro, though. The intro's fun. I do like the intro.
The fails continue.
Yeah, the intro works better if we come in a cold open and then we throw the intro on, I think. Much better than just coming in with the intro.
Oh, terrible.
I just really appreciate Max. I mean, at least I don't have to update anything over here.
Yeah.
Like, ever. Just like consistent.
To be fair to Max, he didn't know we were live.
Oh.
That's true. So, okay, I blame Jason.
Yeah, that's not my fault.
To blame.
That's not my fault.
That's totally fair. Blame me. I'm definitely okay with that. Welcome, everybody, to the Three Geeks podcast. Thank you to everybody that has been subscribing. We've picked up a lot. Watching, yes. We've picked up a lot.
Yes.
We
are going to hit 25,000 views in March. That is my goal. It's going to happen. We're going to hit probably 450-ish subscribers by the end of March.
Do we get an award for like longest time it took to get 25,000 views?
I'm sure there are longer, but maybe. We're definitely in the category of.
I mean, what is it, 8 years now?
What's crazy, though, man, is we've had more growth in the last month than we have had ever. So, like, this year is crazy awesome for us. But I want to welcome to the show Scream 6 star, and definitely had one of the best lines from the new Scream movie, and that is Mr. Jesse Camacho. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Dude, your line hit in the theater. People were laughing hard.
I was going to say, I think a star is very generous. I appreciate it. But you know, I'm glad none of you blinked during the movie, or else you might have missed it. But honestly, I would have done extra work. So I'm a kid in a candy store. I was just so excited. It was such a surreal thing just to be in that film. That was crazy.
How many times have you gone to the theater and watched Scream 6?
I've seen it 3 times. And I've plans to see it at least 2 more times. And I'm sure that will get padded. But you know what? That is not just because I'm in the film. I saw Scream 5, I think 5 or 6 times in theaters, which is pretty impressive seeing as Omicron kept it out of theaters for the first month, where I am in Ontario, Canada. So I actually drove 3.5 hours to the one drive-through that had the movie last year. So, you know, yes, I'm in the movie, and that's a big reason I'm going, but I would be seeing it this many times anyway. So
that's fair. So yeah, you gotta let us know. You gotta let us know if you cap over your normal. So if like, you hit like 8 or 9 times in the theater, let us know. I'm just I would be taking everybody. I was like, hey, I'll take you on Monday and I'll take you on Tuesday.
I would have like a time that I show up on like a card, be like, you have to be in the seat at this time.
Well, I tell people, I'm like, don't go to the bathroom in the first half hour, and you'll see me pop up. But yeah, people wanted to go in one big group. I was like, no, I want to go 8 times. So let's go, 2 people, 1 person, 2 people.
And that's better for a movie anyway. You don't have like the long line of people. You're all like looking down, trying to like whisper stuff at each other. This is a lot more cozy.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so much fun. So yeah, I think I'm going back tomorrow. But I got to triple check with someone. They're on call for work, but if they're not working, we're grabbing tickets and we're going to the theater.
They're sick. They can't go to work. They're like, that's,
exactly. That's
you tell them like, hey, COVID. They got to quarantine for 7 days.
Exactly. I don't care what you got to do. We're going.
I got to ask you though, because you were in the movie, but you didn't know anything that happened in the movie. What was your experience like watching it?
I mean, I got, so when I shot, and we can get into the nitty gritty of that in a second. I got like I got a page. I got literally 1 page. When I got there that day, they gave me this, they give you when you get to set, they give you these kind of the sides, like kind of mini pages of what everybody's shooting that day. So I did see a couple more scenes because I was there that day, but none of them were like big spoilery scenes. So I had no idea. I'll tell you that a couple things got my spider senses tingling when I was on set, but the only thing I saw was that one scene, which was are we doing full spoilers here? Is that okay?
Hold on.
Let me throw up the sign.
Okay, I was gonna say,
if you're an audio listener, just count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, go, Jesse.
This is a pretty minor spoiler in the run of the movie, but just to give context to the scene I'm in, basically I saw from Tara is going up the stairs with the guy at the party, whose name is Frankie. Chad comes, saves her. They get into a pushing contest. And then Sam comes in, tases the guy. I say my line, they run out. That was the only thing I saw when I had no idea who I was playing. They sent me, they said, okay, we got you. And I could talk about the casting process too, which wasn't too involved. I begged and pleaded and I auditioned for a couple things. And then I didn't hear anything. So I was like, crap, like I guess it didn't happen. Meanwhile, we're on Twitter. Yes. Meanwhile, we're on Twitter, doing a Camacho for Scream 6 and all that great stuff. And then my agent called me. She goes, okay, they got you. There's a line you can go. And I was like, I don't care what it is. Yes, take it. She goes, do we want to ask for? I was like, no, I don't want to ask for anything. I'll do it for whatever the base they're offering, whatever I take it. Like, yes. So yeah, I got that one scene, and then when I got there, they had sides, and I think the other scene I saw was the one where they see the news come out about something that's happened down the street. Now I'll be a little more careful. And when they first discuss, oh my God, is this happening again? Maybe we should leave. That was the only scene I saw. So I had no idea who the killer was. I had no idea about I didn't know who lived and who died. I knew certain characters made it to page 40 or whatever it was, but that's all I knew. Yeah. That's all I knew.
So like that's interesting to me though. Your agent was like, "Do you want us to try to push for anything? Like try to get 2 lines. Yeah. Try to. I like that's yeah. I work in a buy sell trade video game store, so it's always interesting to me when people are like, "Well, can I get?" Yeah, I was like, "No, bro, you're not getting me." Like, as a matter of fact, get out of here.
I was just so afraid that asking anything would go. They'd be like, "It's 1 line. Is he really gonna make it?" I was like, "Nope." Great. Okay. And that was sort of my my attitude on set as well. Like I got there and I was just like, I'm just gonna stay out of the way. I'm gonna stay out of the way. I'm gonna say my line. But what really kind of almost thwarted my plan to stay out of the way was how involved Matt and Tyler, the directors, were with all they were asking me what do you think, Jess? Like, what do you want to? And I was like, you're asking. I was like, I'm going to stand here and say my line. Like, I know what I serve here. I'm pushing forward the plot point that people know who Melissa Barrera is, that they know who Sam is. That's otherwise, whatever you want. Like, okay, cool. You don't want to, and I was like, I mean, whatever you guys want. So I was just thrown by their, how generous they were and how collaborative they were. Not that I didn't think they would be, but just, I was like, I'm a warm body here. I'm throwing something out again to push kind of a plot point forward. That's it. But they were
Jesse
Camacho.
Really, really cool.
Exactly.
Don't ever underestimate yourself. Like you are a force. All right. Don't sell yourself short.
But not only did you get a spot in this movie, you're in it with the leads of the movie too. Like they're all in your sequence.
Yeah, no. They're in the movie with you.
It was exactly. They're in my scene.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're talking.
And having I grew up on the Scream franchise, and what kind of really blew me away was, all of them had just been in the new one. That had been their first film, right? Scream 5. But I was still like, it was still so surreal for me. Like, having seen that movie again, I saw it like 6 times in theaters. And then I was sitting on break and I'm in the cast room and I'm sitting and I'm like, okay, there's Jenna Ortega right next to me. There's Melissa Barrera. There's Mason Gooding. There's Jasmine Savoy Brown. And now, of course, we all know like Jack Champion and Devin Dakota, who were all there as well, and Andre, who played Frankie. They were all there too. But I was just kind of sitting there like, how is this real life right now? And they were all so incredibly kind. And I didn't know Mason, but another friend of the show, Halia Jones, is good friends with Mason, and I'm obviously good friends with Halia. So Mason, I think Halia had maybe put a little bug in his ear that I was going to be stopping by. So when I walked into hair and makeup, I was sitting in the chair. I just hear from across the chair, I hear, "Is that Jesse Camacho?" And I turn and it's like Mason, who's in the scene shirtless and jacked. May I point out. The guy's shredded. And he's like standing there getting his makeup on. I think they were putting a scar on him for Scream 5.
Because being shredded isn't enough. You need scars.
Exactly. Yeah, we need more indents to show off how popping he was. He was excited. I remember at the end of the day, he's like, it's great to get this this shirtless scene out of the way. He's like, so now I can indulge a little bit. I said, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get like a poutine? You're gonna get? And he goes, I'm gonna get a sweet potato. It's like, a sweet potato? That's the treat? Like, oh my God. But I mean, he's committed. Anyway, they were just
I might even put it in the air fryer.
Yeah, exactly.
The fries.
Exactly.
That's so cool, man. Like, you got to meet one of the biggest stars in the world right now, Jenna Ortega.
Yeah. And what's funny is she was talking about, that she just got back. Yeah, I was just shooting something for several months in Romania, and I just didn't even clock it. I was like, oh, amazing, good for you. Like, that's great. And of course, it's Wednesday, which is like, the biggest show in the world when it came out. But she was incredibly kind, and it's just so amazing to watch her process, because in that scene, Tara's a little drunk, and she's just so committed. She was like spinning in place so that she seemed dizzy.
She was just doing shots of tequila, like.
Exactly. No. But they were all so approachable. I think that's what surprised me. Not that I wouldn't expect them to be nice, but I know what purpose I'm serving there, and I'm on set. Of course, I try to be nice, kind, and welcoming to everybody, but I don't always assume that everyone is like that. But they were across the board. They were all like that, and I've got mutual friends with Jasmine Savoy Brown, because she's on Yellow Jackets with my really, really good friend Kevin Alves, who I worked with on Lock and Key, and Kevin and I write stuff together, and so I had it in with her as well, and she was obviously incredibly kind and fun, and it was just my cup was full, man. That was one of the best days of my life.
Just to get to work with you, because like all your friends have been talking about you, and they're like, we finally get to work with this Jesse Camacho guy, and like I'm guaranteeing you, like everyone retires after this.
You know what? They played it really cool though. They played it really cool. No.
Oh no, that's
no. They were all great.
I cannot watch Scream movies because I'm just a little scared child. I can't deal with horror. But so like, did your character live?
Oh yeah. I'm literally like I don't mean this. I'm not trying to put myself down, but I'm not really important enough to die. Like
okay.
you know.
Yeah, but you had a line. You could come back.
I had a line. I'm in a
So
Scream movie. You know, let's put it this way: I'm in this movie more than Liev Schreiber's Cotton Weary was in Scream 1. So, and he came back for 2 and 3. So you never know. You never
So
know.
are we saying kill Camacho in Scream 7?
No.
I'm just saying, you want to be?
I think so.
I know.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
he's got to get attacked in Scream 7, and maybe he can die in Scream 8.
All right. I'm not thinking of the whole legacy of Camacho.
Yeah, man. Like the Camacho trio. Like,
Wait, now I'm coming back for 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Apparently, you gotta live to the 7. Yeah.
You're already in, bro. Like now is the time to call your agent and be like, hey, you know, like I can do more than the one line. Like,
bring me back. All of a sudden, I'm a legacy character. You know,
Yeah.
It's like
you got
you never know what can happen.
You got plucky sidekick nailed. Like I want this for you so bad.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue. Like again, you know, I say, you know, my cup is full. I left that day, and I actually 100% mean this. My friends don't believe me, but it was 100% true. It was such an amazing, fulfilling day. Everyone was so nice. I felt like I got one-on-one time with all the main cast, including the new cast. That when I left and I called my buddy, this guy named Alex Harouche, who is, I hate to say it, might even be a bigger fan than me, which I don't say lightly. And he said, he goes, oh my God, whatever. And he goes, but how's your scene? And I said, you know what? Honestly, I obviously I really hope it's in the film, but even if it got cut, I don't care. Like I got to be there. I have pictures. I have proof I was there. That was it. Like that experience was almost more like important to me. Like when I knew I was going to get there, I was like, I'm just going to take this. I'm not going to expect to be in the movie. I'm going to take it as like I get to spend a day on the set of like my favorite franchise.
You're a Make-A-Wish kid.
Yeah, exactly. I said that phrase about 1,000 times. I was like, you know, I felt like a Make-A-Wish kid. Like it was so incredibly special. And you know, I had really, because when I am obsessed with something, I'm obsessed with something. So I had seen the directors and all their interviews and stuff too. So even getting to meet them, I was like as excited as getting to meet the on-screen cast. So I was like, I knew immediately who they were. I said, oh my God, I've seen 1,000 interviews with these guys. And their producing partner, Chad. And they all took the time to come up and welcome me, and, you know, felt like my opinion mattered. And it was just, yeah, it was a really, really special day.
That's awesome.
I want to talk to you about, I want to talk about the movie with you too, like what you thought and stuff. But before I do, let's give Jesse a double here. Let's make his dreams come true twice. Jesse Camacho for Lost Reboot. Let's go, folks.
Oh my God. Don't even play with me.
Let's do it.
Don't even play with me.
Camacho for Lost Reboot.
Hashtag Lost Camacho.
Hashtag Lost Camacho.
I love the fact, Jesse, that both of our favorite franchises are the same.
Yes. With the danger of what's happened now with Scream 6, and I don't mean this in like a cocky way. I just mean like, wow, anything's possible. I can like, you know, make a wish my way into any set now. Like here we go. Like, I can, you know, like Stranger Things 4 came out. I was like, Camacho for Stranger Things 5, Lost Reboot, Camacho for Lost Reboot. Like, you know, I've got to be like, listen, what happened was pretty crazy. You know, I gotta settle myself down a little bit. I'm like, I could have a line in this. I could be in the background there. Like,
yeah. You get one line. I mean, come on, like
exactly.
You know, especially for like Lost or Stranger Things. I mean, that's a whole season.
Yeah.
Like they can get you Star Wars. Oh man, ooh, Star Wars would be a big get. But
I'm in. But here, I have a quick kind of a fun. I actually, so the roles I auditioned for, one of them actually wasn't even in the film. It was a frat guy at the party that hits on Jasmine Savoy, Mindy's character, but that role got cut. But I did read for Jack Champion's role, Ethan, which is, you know, again, I won't go into too many details about that. But like, I remember reading for it, and I was like, you know, I'm a pretty logical person, and I was like, I don't think I'm a good fit for many characters in Scream because you need to have a certain build to be in a Scream film. And that is you need to be average. You need to be like thin, average height, whatever. And I'm like, there's no way I can really get this because whether I end up being the killer or not, they would know it was me. And I was like, and this is the problem. So like I was trying to like really nail the audition, but I'm like, anybody worth their like Gail Weathers is gonna be like, well, guys, it's obviously this guy. Like, or well, clearly it's not him.
Right.
Like, the person chasing me was thin.
The person chasing me was chasing me.
Yes, exactly. Like, or it's definitely him. He stopped about 3 feet after he started running to catch his breath. Like,
yes.
So when I got the breakdown, you saw who I was reading for. I was like, well, I just don't think I make for a good red herring or killer. But I was glad to have a crack at it. I had so much fun. Maybe at some point in the future, I'll post the audition on something because the audition was fine. It was just like I just knew. I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. And then of course I met Jack Champion, who is fantastic and crushed it. It's just coming off the Avatar franchise, so he's really exploding right now. Yeah, that was who I originally read for was him. So,
did you get to meet Courtney or Hayden?
I did not get to meet Courtney or Hayden, which was a drag. I'm pretty sure I left my charger on set by accident. That's going to sound like it was on purpose, but it wasn't. And so I had to go back one day to pick it up. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, I walked by the hair and makeup show and I'm pretty sure I saw Courtney Cox getting her hair and makeup done. But I was like, I want to play it cool. I don't want to be the guy that's hovering. Grab your charger, get off the set. Like,
I didn't get to meet Hayden. It's a smooth play. That's a smooth play. I was like, oh, hey guys, I left my charger. Like, if I bump into Courtney Cox, like, so be it.
I'll stay for lunch. I mean, I'm part of the cast. No. I wanted to like.
I think you played it right.
Yeah.
Go back a third time. Be like, I think I left my backup charger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think I left my pencil. It's a number 2 pencil.
Yeah,
Anyone seen it?
Yeah, it was a tissue that wasn't fully used. I think
I really want to recycle this.
All right, so I want to geek out about Scream 6 with you. So Scream 6, we get probably the best since the first one, or maybe even the fourth one, opening sequence of any of the Scream franchises. And wow, like you think it's going one way, and then they pivot. And I mean, realistically, the odds of that happening at the same time is probably low, but it makes for such a great opening sequence because you think something's going to happen. Like they did that a lot in this movie, like something that you think they're going to play to an old trope like they did maybe in the first 5, it flips to the other side of the coin.
Yeah, it takes a harsh left turn. And I think, you touched on too, like what, some people's criticisms are. And I think it is totally subjective in terms of like what bothers you, what doesn't bother you. If we ask ourselves, would this logistically happen? Or what are the odds of this? I mean, you go all the way back to Scream 1, it's, the movie's going to kind of almost come apart at the seams because you've got to buy into the world of what's going on, right? And I think they do that so well. But yeah, I agree with the opening. And again, I guess I'll be a little vague. The first couple minutes, I was like, oh, this is really witty and well done. And then, it kind of concludes, or you think it concludes. And I was like, oh, that was a good opening. It was, it was funny. It was a little different, cool. And then something happened and my jaw hit the floor. And I was like, oh, what are we doing here? And then it just kind of kept going and then actually resolved. And I wanted to stand up and start applauding in my seat. I was like, all right, you got me. I'm in. Oh, sorry, my theory just went off by accident. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
One of the best openings.
It does it a lot. My biggest negative with Scream 6, and I kind of want to get your take because you said you had some issues with the second half, is that they didn't commit to killing certain people. Like there's sequences where that person's dead. I mean, come on, they're dead, and then you find out
one person in particular.
Yeah, two. I would say 2.
Yeah, fair enough. I think my issue more is, if you're going to spare I'm not even like, of course I want great kills in a Scream movie. I need in great sequences. But what I thought this movie did so well was, especially in the first, like, we have the great opening, and then there's like 25 minutes or 20 minutes where we really marinate with them a little bit. We reconnect with everybody. There's like really nice moments, especially with with Tara and Chad, and like really nice stuff. And we reconnect with Sam, and I thought Melissa Barrera really killed it in this one. I know people had some issues with her in 5, and I thought she silenced a lot of critics in this one. But anyway, and so maybe like not quite to the extent of Gail doing Sydney, but pretty close. I was pretty invested in all of them. So without getting too specific, when certain people survived at the end, I wasn't upset that they survived at all. Like, I was actually kind of happy. Like, I'm not like that bloodthirsty, but I was like, did we need to go that far and then reveal? Because I was like, we could have had the same effect by not going so crazy to the point where we're in the theater going, well, that would never happen. But okay, like, again, I don't mind having, people, like, one of my favorite moments in Scream 2 is we got another live one here, and you turn up and Dewey's coming out, and you're like, what? And this movie almost takes that moment and goes, I will quadruple down on that. And you're like, but almost to the point where you're like, no, like, not a chance. But again, I was, if that's my biggest gripe, I'm gonna be, and listen, I'm not saying I don't have gripes. We'll get into all of them. But yeah, that was sort of I kind of half cheered and half rolled my eyes because I was happy to see the person alive. But I was also like, they just wouldn't be. Like, it's not even a question.
They're gonna get a T-shirt. It's like stabbed 18 times, fell down a flight of stairs.
That might literally be the number.
Yeah, like survived.
Yeah.
They're like they're actually Bruce Willis in Unbreakable.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing I really liked about 6 is you don't miss Nev at all. Which, I mean, you do, but you don't, because I'm even to the point where I don't even think Gail needed to be there. Like, you could have focused on the new characters and it would have been fine.
Yeah, I think, of course, we miss her as a presence in the film. Yeah. Like, we miss her as, like, just having Sydney there. But story-wise, and again, without getting into the nitty-gritty of what happens and why people are doing what they're doing, she's like literally just not needed from a story perspective. You could have put her in. I know that apparently there was a version. I obviously didn't read any of this, but there was a version with her in it when they were trying to get her in.
That wasn't on your page?
It wasn't on my page. But you know what? Actually, I think this is okay to say. In the sides I had where I remember I read one more scene because they had that scene in the thing. I think there was a line when the news first happens. And the Carpenter sisters are first made aware that there's something going on, and Sam's trying to leave town. I believe there was a line where she goes, "I have to call Sydney," and I was like, oh, so I wonder if I just think she would have served a very similar purpose as she did in 5. Which again, I probably wouldn't have complained, but it would have been like, why are you putting yourself in harm's way? Like, this isn't about you. Why are you entering the fold? And obviously, Sydney's very heroic, and we love her, and we wouldn't have argued it. But, with a family now, when they kind of gave the explanation for where she was, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, why would she involve herself?
She's not
Gail,
Batman.
I think, yeah, exactly.
Ghostface.
Gail fit more organically. Yeah, exactly. Gail fit more organically, but I see what you mean. Like, if for some reason Courtney Cox couldn't be there, it would not have been the end of the world. But obviously, she adds so much always, and she's got a phenomenal set piece at one point in the movie. But I know what you mean. Like, this new cast is so well-rounded and we're so invested in them that it would not have been the end of the world if it was just them. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, the movie was so much fun. I even liked that they had Jason Takes Manhattan playing in the background of one of the sequences.
Yeah. Yes. I spotted that too. And no offense to that movie, but I think this is probably topped it as the best New York slasher at this point.
This movie's brutal. It's an adrenaline rush from start
brutal.
to finish, for sure. God, I loved it. And my nitpicks are minor. I guess I guess 75% of the ending by like the first 15 minutes. Because there's a line that's delivered by a character, and you're like,
I know exactly. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
That seems like a pretty major nitpick.
Well, I find here's the problem now with any Scream movie. And when I say problem, I don't mean problem. You understand what I mean? Is that, we're introduced, we have our core returning people, and then there's usually 4 or 5 new people. And I don't think there's anything you can do about this. I kind of am not going to be shocked if it's any of the these are our suspects. So I'm like anybody that it ends up being, it's gonna be hard for my jaw to hit the floor. Like, I think when I think back on the Scream franchise, I'm like, which ones like really shocked me? And maybe I'm too attuned to these things, but the only time I ever remember my jaw like kind of hitting the floor was Scream 2 with Debbie Salt, Mrs. Loomis was the one that I was like had no idea about. I didn't necessarily guess the killers in 3, 4, or 5, but it's weird to say. I was like, oh yeah, it's one of the people that it could have been. Like, so I'm always looking more for like, like what's the motive, what's the climax. And again, I've heard a lot of online criticisms about the climax of this one. And again, we can get into the nitty gritty at some point, maybe when the movie's been out a little longer or whatever. I definitely had issues with it, but I still thought the climax was like so much fun. And the motive, again, without being too spoilery, is sort of reused. Yes, it is something that we've seen before, but I thought the package of how we got it was a little different. And that I was like, oh, cool. Like, we're 6 movies in. It's going to be hard to find something like totally new. Yeah. So you've kind of taken something done before, but you packaged it differently. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And, there's aspects about the, who's behind it all that are different.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Going into this movie, I expected it to be completely different. Judging from the trailers, I expected, I thought we were going to get a movie like this. Sydney's not in it, so the killer is out for the people that took place in the reboot, which was 5. They want to wipe that out and go back to the original storyline. So I thought that's kind of the movie we were going to get, which is why we were counting down with the masks and so forth. But it was still
maybe that'll be 7. That's a great idea. That's actually a really fresh, because I was thinking in my head when I read somebody, because I think most of the Discord has been very, very positive. But I've read a couple people going, oh, I didn't love the motive, I didn't love whatever, and I was sitting there going, God, well, what would be a fresh motive? And I couldn't think of it, and you just gave me one. That would be something different. Because I know they did something that I thought was very different and fresh in 5, and they got pushback on the motive in 5. So like it felt like with this one they were like, all right, well, let's take something that you can't really argue as a motive. Like you can maybe not love the motive in this one, but you can't really argue it. Like it's like, no, like it's a logical thing in a way. You can't say like, oh, that doesn't make sense in terms of why they're doing what they're doing, which I guess you could say for 5, even though I kind of really dug what they did in 5. So, I feel like I'm just saying nothing while saying everything. People who've seen the movie will get it. People who haven't seen the movie are not going to know what the heck I'm talking about.
That's what non-spoiler reviews are. It's saying something without saying anything.
Without saying anything.
The other thing I really liked in 6 that I thought was done not as well in 5, which is I guess this is a mild spoiler. If you've seen 5, then you know. But I like how they used Billy Skeet Ulrich in 6 way better than they did in 5.
Yeah, that he only kind of appears in one location at like one. Again, I won't get too much into it, but like it feels like a very specific personal connection to him and Sam in the moments that he's there. Yeah, whereas 5, I was a little like, obviously I got it. She has delusions. She sees people that aren't there. But this one felt more specific, and it felt more. It felt like there were parameters to when and why she's seeing him, kind of in this one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good movie, everybody. Check it out. I'll get Jesse on. Him and I can geek out and do a full spoiler review somewhere down the line.
Yeah, we can break it down.
There's a lot to unpack in this movie, and I can't wait for Justin to see it so he maybe can join us and talk about it.
Yeah, of course.
I hope we didn't spoil too much for you, Justin.
No, you did great. It's all good.
Okay.
I will respectfully abstain from this one.
Totally fair.
Jesse,
totally fair.
I want to cover one news story while you're here, and that is that Jenna Ortega is in talks to play Lydia Dietz's daughter in Beetlejuice 2.
I mean, I'm here. I want to see Jenna Ortega and everything.
So do I. And I'm glad that Tim Burton is moving on from Johnny Depp. And if Jenna Ortega is going to be his new number 2, then go for it, man. Go for it. And I want to see Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice again.
Yes. Well, it feels long overdue. I mean, I know people are always, hesitant with reboots and stuff. For me, I don't think, and again, this is just subjective, I've never seen a reboot that I hated so much that it damaged the original property. I'm like, if I don't like it, I just won't watch it. I'll just watch the original and say that's it. So
the thing is still there.
Yeah. That's what I always say.
Yeah,
like Scarface was a remake. Everybody loves that movie. Like, if a remake's not good, you have the original. If the remake's good, then you have both.
I had this nightmare one time where they made this Indiana Jones movie. It was about aliens, and it was really, really stupid. And it, but that didn't ruin the other Indiana Jones for me. You know, like
now you have a new one coming out. You have a new one coming. There's a new one coming. Maybe that one.
Number 4.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You ever heard of the new one?
No. I'm having my brain won't even allow me to identify an Indiana Jones movie until I see it and it's actually good.
I see. Okay.
But
we'll talk in June. We'll see if there's a new Indiana Jones movie or not.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If an Indiana Jones movie just popped out of nowhere and was in theaters and was awesome, that would be great.
Great.
But if it was terrible and or I have another nightmare, that's not going to ruin Indiana Jones for me.
I have another nightmare.
That's right.
Well, constant nightmares.
Jesse, thank you, man, for taking the time to come on and chat with us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad that you shared your experience with us. Because
yes,
dude, when I was watching the movie and you did your line, I'm like, I know that guy.
and you've been so supportive of me trying to get in the movie. So, and it bugged me so much because we were all still kind of tweeting about it when I knew I'd done it. Like I'd already gone and shot the day. So I was like, I'm not allowed to say anything. So I'm still tweeting oh, hope I can sneak in there. Meanwhile, I've shot. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we had Aaliyah on a few weeks ago, and she's like, keep an eye out in that movie. Somebody you might know might be in it.
Yeah.
Jesse, I'm just happy to hear that it was that Make-A-Wish day for you. That is really cool. That I more than anything, the whole, story. If you're in 7 and 8, I'm just glad that when you got the thing, it was actually the
what
thing.
You want.
It was better than I ever could have asked for, and again, I'm 99.9% that's the end of my experience, and it couldn't have gone any better. I was so happy, and I'm gonna be first in line for every Scream movie that comes out, and probably see it 80 times. So, yeah,
give us
what a time, what a day.
Take a break. Take maybe a 10-year break, and then bring back Camacho and 8 as a legacy character.
Yes. I agree, though. After 7, complete the trilogy, Radio Silence, and then call it. And then, if you want to reboot it in another decade, great. But I think one more and a lengthy break is a good call because it's going so well right now. Don't do too many and start to really
don't
one more. I say, yeah.
But get Jesse Camacho and Scream 7.
Follow Jesse at Jesse115115 on Twitter. And what's your Instagram?
Jesse JD Camacho.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. You have yourself a great day.
Thanks so much for having me.
Jesse,
all right, we'll talk soon.
Always a pleasure having you on.
Guys.
Right. You too.
Bye.
Yeah.
So Justin and I saw 65, and I thought the movie was going to be absolute garbage because it's not getting good reviews, but I don't understand why people are saying that it's garbage because it's not.
You went into that movie like, I love this movie. Like the opening credits started and Jason's like, this is a great movie.
Talking about long intro scenes, 65 has the longest intro to get to the title scene I've ever read. I thought about that when it popped up. I was like, we're just now getting to the title? But it was, I didn't think we were going to get it. Like,
yeah, but it wasn't. You're making it sound like it was a bad intro. It wasn't a bad intro.
No, I'm sorry. No, it was fine. It was good. But it just like...
after 4 or 5 minutes.
It's like 65.
Yeah,
it is the best Jurassic Park movie since Jurassic Park 1.
All right, I'll take that.
I can safely say that it's a tight, like 85-minute movie outside of credits. Like it's not long, but it's not boring at any moments of the film as well. Adam Driver does a great job at leading this film. The actress, the young actress that's with him in it, is also very, very good. The special effects are good. This movie is not a 30% like Rotten Tomatoes has. It's much better than that. Is it going to be one of the greatest films of all time? We're going to be talking about it 5 years down the line.
It's obviously no Cocaine Bear.
Probably not.
I've been the most fun I've had in a movie theater in a long time. So it's going to be a while before I get to Cocaine Bear again.
But it's a fun ride. It's definitely worth going to check out in the theaters.
I just don't think that movie knows what it wants to be. Like, to me, if we're fighting dinosaurs, let's have like a consistent, like, a thing with dinosaurs rather than like a father-daughter, like, you know what I mean, redemption arc, whatever you want to say about it. Like, that's where I get some people deviating. It's like, if you came for dinosaur fighting, you got some of that, but not as much as like the trailer would imply. Like, you're going to see a bunch of like action set pieces with them fighting dinosaurs, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely
a lot of it's just interpersonal conversations between himself and like his daughter, or himself and this new girl, and himself, like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of like flashbacky. So I can see why people don't like it, because like the trailer just said we're fighting dinosaurs, and it's just this dude getting off the planet. Like, you got ham-fisted a whole like relationship that you have to like care about through the whole thing, which is good. I mean, it's a fine story, but like if I'm going in to see dinosaurs fighting a human, you got that, but you didn't get as much as your one-on-one.
I mean, but it's like, so you have to do The Last of Us. Like, if you're gonna throw in this relationship and make you can't, like, you have to go for it, you know, like, because episode 3 of Last of Us, like characters you've never seen before, characters you've never heard about, like, and then like the main characters are only in it for 3 or 4 minutes, like, but you care so much about these dudes. By the end of the thing, like if you can't do that, then don't try. Like, I'm sorry, but go hire some Last of Us writers and get the fuck out of here.
I agree and disagree. I think the film knows what it wants to be. I don't think the studio knew what the film needed to be. So when the studio was putting out the trailers and promoting the movie, they promoted it as this dinosaur like fighting movie, but the movie is not at all that. It's more of a smaller scale story between two people. And I'd go check it out, guys. I'd say it's a 3 out of 5. It's middle of the road, but it's definitely a theater experience. Go check it out.
If they'd gone the other way with the marketing, if it had been like, okay, like this you know, father-daughter crashed on a planet, you know, and they have to, you know, like survive each other and escape, would that have been, you know, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, like you go to the movie, you're thinking it's one thing, and then dinosaurs show up, like, would that have been better for you?
I mean, kind of, just because it's like there wasn't enough dinosaurs, in my opinion, to warrant like a full-on trailer of him fighting dinosaurs. If you're going to do that,
like, you saw all the dinosaur scenes in the trailer.
Yeah, for a lot of it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like
it was a studio bait and switch for sure.
Yeah, if I want, like, in my opinion, it has to be like Aliens 2. If we're talking about planet on like combat versus an alien body, like, it has to be something like Aliens 2, where you're just nonstop running and gunning, rather than Aliens 1, where you're just kind of like scared of one monster. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. 3 out of 5. Justin, what do you?
No, I agree. 3 out of 5. I would go check it out, but I wouldn't go with the expectation that you're not going to see as much action as you want. You will see action. There is plenty of action in the movie, but like, if you're going in human versus dinosaur and like running and gunning, this ain't it. You know what I mean?
If you go into this movie expecting what this movie is, you might like it more than a 3 out of 5. But I went in with the same.
Adam Driver does great, but she always does great. Adam Driver,
he's a really good actor. I'm happy with the younger. He's probably like 40. You know, but I'm saying like Tom Cruise is getting old. It's like the next set of guys. Domhnall Gleeson, Adam Driver, like. These guys are really, really good. What's his name? I'm just naming Star Wars people now. The guy who plays Poe. The guy who plays Poe is a really, really good actor too. Moon Knight. What's his name?
Yeah. Oh man, I know his name.
I'm not even gonna Google it because Jason will find.
He's always like the star of any remake revolution I do.
He has to travel the galaxy.
I gotta say, are we caught up on Last of Us?
Oscar Isaacs. Isaacs.
You guys caught up
he's
on
in
Last
Dune
of Us?
too, right? He's the dad in Dune. Is that what I said?
Yes, he's Duke Leto Atreides in.
He did so good in that movie. I rewatched it just for him for some of it.
Dude, you can rewatch Dune for any one thing.
I know, agreed. But I liked him a lot.
Oh yeah, like he was great. Like everything in Dune is so good. He's like, I'm watching it for the sand.
Yeah,
and that's a totally valid reason to watch it.
I read the book immediately after watching that movie because I was so invested in Dune. I was like, okay, I'm in. Like,
I read it. You hadn't read it before?
I hadn't. No, I hadn't.
Oh, dude. I mean, like, I read that book 4 or 5 times.
It's so good.
And then I did the same thing. I had to go read it again after the movie came out. Me and Casey were talking about doing a Dune book review or something, but that never happened. It could still happen, but
I'll review a book with you if you want.
All right,
that can be a topic for our next or for the
next. Dang.
Yeah.
We don't have to just shit on magic all the time.
I know. I feel like we're getting pretty negative.
It's hard not to. Like, it's really hard not to. That's the thing. And I'm telling you right now, like working at a store where we sell magic, dude, like it's so much. Mm-hmm. And like check out the latest YouTube video at VGMX. We have a lot of blast. We had a lot of fun. We got to shred a 30th anniversary pack of cards because that was just like the biggest slap in the face from any company I've ever seen as far as like their fans. Okay, so they put up these 30th anniversary special packs that were the beta set. So it's all reprints from the beta set, except since they're not allowed to print playable beta cards because of the reserved list, they're 100% not playable in any legit format.
You just have them.
They're just proxies, and they wanted you to pay $1,000 for a box that was 4 packs of these cards. So like before Wizards of the Coast had released an entire set of beta, you could get one of every card out of the set for $50. It was a reprint that you weren't allowed to play. Yeah. Now I understand like that was a long time ago and for inflation. So even if you wanted to charge $100 or $200,
that seems reasonable for every card.
For one of every card, that would have been okay with me. But $1,000 for 4 packs, you're not even guaranteed to get the cards that you want.
Yeah, it's trash. That's garbage.
And then they're like, "Oh, it's for the people. Thank you for getting us here. This is for you. We're gonna price 98% of you out of this thing." Like,
who's buying it? Is there a resale market? Are they valuable? Are the proxies valuable from the thing?
I mean, kind of, just because like it's a special thing, But like, I hate it. I hate it. I hate everything about it. And like, I wanted to shred the whole box, but Jeremy wouldn't let me. It was, but
if it's $1,000 a box, I wouldn't.
Well, no, but like they sent one box out to all the LGSs.
Oh, yeah.
So every local store or every game store got one box for free. One box.
That's garbage.
And so we opened that thing up, and I shredded a pack. And unfortunately, there wasn't a Black Lotus in there. But like, I wanted there to be so bad. I just wanted there to be something, Mox something, friggin' just destroy it. Like that would have been so good. We had a shred cam. We had the shredder set up. We had a camera there, like so when the car would fall.
We should always have a thing. With
the shred cam is not as good as the brisket cam. I'm going to tell you that right here. But but it was a lot of fun. Just speaking of magic and craziness and down on magic, but like this company is taking it to hell. So
taking the heart out of the game.
Yeah, it's hard not to be disgruntled.
I gotta ask, you guys caught up on The Last of Us?
Yes.
Sorry, not yet. But you guys talk about it. I'll shut up. Sorry. I know. I love it. I love the show. I just haven't had a chance to watch it. I'm sorry.
We'll avoid spoilers, but episode.
Hold on. Before we get into it, I just want to say Pedro Pascal on Wednesday and Pedro Pascal on Sunday is awesome.
The double P week.
All right, sorry. Continue.
Episode 8, I mean, I still think 3 is the pinnacle of the show,
Yep.
but episode 8 gives 3 a run for its money because there is a lot of emotion. And oh my God, the actress that plays Elle is
Lady Mormont.
So good in
episode.
She's good in this whole series, but episode 8, she really gets some stuff to work with. And
oh, dude, no, she channels the Lady Mormont in this one.
Episode 8 like punches you in
She
the
murders
gut.
some folks, huh? That's a spoiler of itself.
Oh, dude, like I felt it. I was like, ooh, the heart of the bear came out. Like it was. It is awesome, and she is brutal. And like you feel it. It is a great episode. Yeah, probably easily my second favorite episode in the entire series. Again, but like, how do you top episode 3? I really wish like they hadn't done episode 3 like when they did, because like I don't know how do you get better from this, but it was a good episode for sure. There's a lot going on, and everyone is good. The weird guy is good. like all the people involved did a really good job with this episode. And then like someone had told me that it was the last episode, and I was like, this is a weird spot to end it on, but also like, okay,
I thought it was too, the last episode, and then I was talking with Kathleen, and she's like, no, we got one more. So it's 9. Usually shows aren't 9 episodes. They're usually 8. They're usually even numbers.
Yeah.
But I just really this show continues to just wow me. Like I don't know that I've ever seen a show that constantly hits 4.5 or 5 out of 5 on a constant basis. And I don't know what season 2 is going to be, but if it was just season 1, this show would be one of the best series of all time, and it probably will be.
Yeah,
I don't see the quality dipping at all.
I don't know what they're going to do with episode 2. I hope season 2. I hope they'd always planned on a season 2, just because like if this was like, hey, we're getting this is our shot, you got to leave it alone after that, because. Don't rush it. Just because everyone loves it is not a reason to make crap after that.
Game of Thrones is.
Yeah, I mean, like Game of Thrones is a whole other shit show for a whole other reason, I think. But like, it's anything. Just like if this was like The Flash. Take season 1 of The Flash on the CW. It was solid, and They were like, this is all we get. You could tell that was the mindset. They're like, put everything we can in here because this is all we get, and they should have just stopped, because after that it's just not as good. It wasn't as the
same for Arrow, right? Because I think the first 2 seasons of Arrow were pretty decent, and then it just
and then they're like, we gotta carry this thing on, and they're still going back to the island, and it's like, guys, like just give it up, like it's okay.
Before the haters start commenting, Max was not comparing quality of The Flash season 1 to Last of Us.
But I'm
he was
saying,
comparing the
like within The Flash, the first season is the best season because they were like, this is our plan, and then after that they were like, oh crap, everyone loved it. What are we gonna do?
You would think they would plan that better, like going into the CW show.
It's a superhero show. Like Arrow had done well, but like they didn't know, and it was like, well, we're not trying to be as dark and edgy as them. Like there's a lot of unknown factors, and the Flash, like time travel, is the worst plot device of all time. It's really hard to do that well. So when you start talking about the Flash, like it can it can go wrong very fast. But so they did a thing, and it was good, and I'm just like, hey, like, congratulations, you've done a thing that is good. That is hard to do.
You've done a thing that is good.
Yeah, like, congratulations, like you made it. Like I can't do it. So like, yeah, again, like, kudos on The Last of Us. This season is epic. I guess the last episode is today.
Yeah.
I was like, binge. I'm just gonna wait and binge everything. Then great.
I'm excited that they're going up against the Oscars.
Like most the Oscars.
No, but I'm just saying most shows would avoid it, but
no, they avoided. Look, they avoided the Super Bowl. Like they're like Oscars. They're gonna watch our show.
I still wish they'd gone up against the Super Bowl. I think that would have been a fun experiment to see Last of Us against the Super Bowl.
No, the Super Bowl was it was such a good game. Like I'm very, very glad they decided to do that.
You're not gonna beat the Super Bowl. I don't care what show you are.
I don't like competition at the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, only if it turns out to be a boring Super Bowl, but you don't know that until you watch the game.
Yeah, you're in the halftime show by the time you should be watching a different show. Like,
I don't know. All Super Bowls are boring to me. But here we go, guys. I want to check this out with you guys. I think this looks fun, and I love the animation style.
Has Nickelodeon produced a lot of movies recently? Like, I feel like I remember as a kid they had a bunch, but I've not seen a movie from them.
No, I don't think they have a lot of IPs that they can. Because I mean, like
Rugrats was big, Good Burger.
They were pumping out shows that kids were watching.
And Seth Rogen, I mean, with The Boys, and now he's doing Turtles.
Stay still.
They sound like kids too, which we've not really had yet.
Yeah, this is almost like claymation. It's not, obviously, but it feels.
It's sort of like Star Wars, Clone Wars, except it's like Into the Spider-Verse and Star Wars Clone Wars had a baby.
Oh yeah. It's almost like water paint. Yeah.
That's a good way to describe it.
I dig it.
Oh, bro.
Those look like little Shreks to me.
That's not Shreks. Every time they look like little Shrek.
We prepared our whole lives for this.
I love it.
If you've ever played D&D, this is a pretty common occurrence.
Oh, they get a little Ace Ventura there.
That's so good.
Of course, people are crying that April's black, even though she was black in the original comic books.
It rolls off the tongue better, yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares about this fictional person? I'm so tired. Please, as much as we can, let's just not bring up race bullshit anymore. Officially, if you have a problem with any fictional character's race, go fuck yourself. End quote. There's nothing else that needs to be said. You're an idiot.
End quote.
This is the official 3 Geeks stance on that argument.
I agree. Yeah, I can firmly get behind that statement.
1000%. I got 2 quick stories we'll go through. So Bob Iger, who just came back as CEO again, hints at big changes for the MCU. Sequels work well, but do you need a 3rd or 4th film? It goes back to Bob Iger's new initiative of quality over quantity. So Marvel is obviously going to be taking on that stance a bit. And I still hope they get a new person to run Lucasfilm other than Kathleen Kennedy. Just because
she's gone, isn't she? I thought she was gone.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
She's still there.
We didn't need Iron Man 3. We didn't need Thor 4. Yeah, no, I'm down. Like, I want good movies. I don't want just movies. Like, it's it goes back to the conversation we're talking about. Like, hey, if you made a good thing,
yeah, agreed.
Good job.
Yeah,
like leave it there.
Good Star Wars. I don't care what format it is. It can be whatever the thing is, but make it a good story. I don't care what TV, movie, whatever, radio station. I don't care.
have the story influence the sequel as opposed to the sequel influence the story is the way I would take on these mottos.
Now, like if you made a plan to do a thing and you fulfilled your plan,
that's what I'm saying. Let the story dictate if there's a sequel, not let's make a sequel because or force the story for a sequel when we don't need the sequel to be there.
Like, I'm just like, man, when you like with art, with any sort of art, like if you don't see like painters, like you don't see like other people in the Mona Lisa painting. Like Leonardo da Vinci wasn't like, okay, well, so here's the Mona Lisa, like, oh, and look, here's her cousin Jack. Like, here's the Mona Lisa's, and then it turns into the Last Supper. Like we don't need that. Like the thing is good as itself.
Absolutely. And then my last story is John Barenthal is back as the Punisher.
Yes.
He is like quintessentially that role. You know what I mean? There's very few actors that like when they get to a role, like it's them. Like that felt like that for me, for him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Tom Holland and Spider-Man. Like there's some things that just go well together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I 100% with Daredevil. Cox and Daredevil. Like that's. Like I don't want to see anyone else doing the job. Like that's they got a good guy for the job. Or even old dude in the Flash, in the TV show Flash. Like I like him as the Flash. I think he makes a good Flash. Like you don't need an Ezra, okay?
At all.
You had a good thing.
That drove me nuts, by the way, when they announced. Like I was like, the TV show guy did perfectly as the Flash.
Great.
Yeah, he did great. Like,
yeah, he's fine, and I'm sure he can do. And that's what CW scripts. Like let's give this guy something to actually do.
Yeah, sink his teeth into something. That'd be fun. But we are getting. Unfortunately, it looks like Karen and Foggy will be recast. And
unfortunately, I thought they did good as their role.
Yeah, I really liked. Oh God, what was his name in Mighty Ducks? Fulton Reed.
Holy crap! I didn't know that. Oh,
really? Man. All this time?
Right. I didn't know. That was one of my favorite shows as a kid. Oh,
out of everybody, I thought he'd be a shoo-in because like he still does stuff with Disney. So I'm like, oh yeah, Foggy's sticking around.
Yeah, he was good, Foggy. Even Karen, like she did a really, really good job in that role too. I liked her, and they gave her a good amount to work with, and she knocked it out of the park. So like, yeah, that sucks. That sucks. They got recast, but such is the way of things. And I guess that's we'll just if these other two people aren't like they got to hit it out of the park. Like you got big shoes to fill, like, otherwise, the nerds are gonna come crying and rallying back to Fulton Reed. Like
the only person I don't want recast is I want to see Kristen Ritter stick around as Jessica Jones. Yeah. That's the only one that I'm like, please, like everybody else to me, they can do whatever, but. Let's keep her around.
And the thing that sucks is that they killed her great villain. Like, it's they kill villains way too much, and like this is comic books, like you're not supposed to do that.
They can always come back, but First off, I want to thank Jesse for coming on and sharing his fan experience with us. I know that any guest we could get that maybe could come on and talk about Star Wars and what their experience on set would be for Max to hear that. It was for me like so cool. Like I get to live vicariously through.
No, but like even for someone who isn't like I'm not a Scream fan, but like I'm so happy for that dude that yeah, it was a really, really cool experience for him. Like that is awesome. And we like, you know, like vicariously, like we kind of helped, you know, like I didn't say help, but like, you know, he did all the work. We were there on the train, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. and so that was, I'm so happy for that dude. Like, I can't even express like how awesome it is that, you know, he went there and everybody was cool and he had such a great experience. Like, it doesn't matter what your fandom is. Like, it's good when good people have good experiences, and getting for him to get there is just awesome.
And right now, guys, you guys can hashtag Halia Jones for The Last of Us. It's our new hashtag that we are doing on Twitter. It is going pretty well. And then also, I'm going to start it today. Hashtag Jesse Camacho for Lost Reboot. Let's go. Let's make this guy's...
Hashtag Lost Camacho.
Let's make this guy's dream come true again.
Are hashtags supposed to be like Poppy? Like, are they supposed to... Cause I don't know. Camacho for Lost Reboot just seems long.
I'll think of something. But he's got it in. Like, if they were to make another Lost, Jesse already worked with the showrunner of Lost. Like, he was the showrunner of Lock and Key. So Jesse's already got that.
He's got it in.
Foot in the door. So, but no, seriously, Halia Jones for The Last of Us. We want that to happen because
oh my goodness, though.
She's a regular on our show. Like, she's on it almost as much as Max is. So,
fuck you.
Oh man!
Shots fired.
I couldn't
Shots
resist.
Fired.
I couldn't resist. She's coming on again very soon, and I know she wants to be on that show. So come on, guys, let's make that happen.
Oh God, I'm wounded over here.
Next week, Justin and I will be doing a review of Shazam 2. I'm digging this, going to the movies every weekend and seeing everything that came out.
Shazam 2 too. Like, I don't really get his face is like, why am I not invited?
You're in Cancun, Max.
It's a fucking Two Geeks. I love the Two Geeks show. Thank you guys for having me on. Like, it's always a blast coming on here. You guys are great. Like, it's
you're in Mexico.
I appreciate you so much. Like, thank you. I finally achieved my dream of making it on the Two Geeks podcast, and you know, like, everyone was great. You know, like, I had a blast. You
would obviously be invited, Max. You're going to be in another country.
It's whatever. That's cool. Justin, like, it just, I'm gonna need another brisket to drown.
Max will be joining us for the Dungeons and Dragons review the following week.
I really hope that movie fucking sucks. Like, and this is just again for like Hasbro losing control of Wizards of the Coast. Like, I've never wanted a movie to tank so bad in my entire life.
I want it to be good because it looks fun.
Oh no, it looks good. And normally I really, you know, I love movies. Yeah. I love going to the movies. I love good movies, but I just want this movie to suck so bad. And then of course, because I want it to suck, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. 8 out of 10 or something. Yeah.
Let's make sure we cut that as a short because that would be good. I want it to fucking suck.
I do. I 100% hope that it makes like $10. I hope it makes the $35 that we are going to spend going to see the movie, and then that's it.
That's so good. That might have been my favorite 15 minutes of our podcast. The fake Max being mad at the whole thing. Oh, man. So good.
Guys,
we're going to put the shades back on so you don't see me fucking crying over here.
Oh, Max, you would love it.
I got to say, during this live show, we picked up another subscriber. So
welcome.
Thank you. One of the things I've always been nervous about is going on and doing solo videos, and I've been doing a lot of them, and the feedback has been huge. Justin messages me all the time, like, dude, we picked up this many subscribers on your video, and I'm like, holy crap. And then I posted a video, and somebody put #cringe. I responded, you know, I'm sorry. Thanks for the watching, but I'm sorry for the cringe. And then like 12 people underneath that comment, like jumped to my defense. So you guys, it's been humbling.
Send your negativity. That all helps us in the algorithm. Go ahead. Like, if you hate it, let me know.
Your glasses are so shiny. I can see your screen through. It's so good.
Yeah. It's so good. Well, again,
Max and I we love
freaking crying my ass off over here just because
I
doesn't even think I'm part of the podcast anymore.
Max and I love reading negative comments.
Oh, dude, no, somebody please make 10 negative comments. Like just go ahead and fire them off. Like I love that.
Like 10 accounts and just all bad.
Yeah, 10 different accounts. Tell me how much you hate me. That is fine.
I also want to thank everybody for falling for my Scream ranking bait. I posted my rankings because I knew they'd be controversial, and you guys did not disappoint because it was like dislike, 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 dislike.
But you watched it though.
But seriously, guys, thank you so much. Check out Scream. Check out 65. Check out You. I don't know that I'll ever watch You through again, but it's always fun to watch on that first ride. So check that out on Netflix. And
I jumped on the My Hero train. I'm watching My Hero Academia now, and I hate how much I like it. I fought it for so long. It's basically Naruto, but less filler.
Oh, great then.
Yeah. Like it's I found like 100 hard comparisons to Naruto, and it's just less filler, so that makes it much better.
You guys can check me out Thursdays on the Scary Snobs over on the Scene Snobs channel, and also John and I interview Daniel Roebuck from Matlock, the Fugitive U.S. Marshals, Lost. And that drops Monday morning, so check that out. Dude was awesome, and it was a fun interview, so check it out. And from all of us at the 3 Geeks podcast,
Max, 2 Geeks podcast, Jason and Justin.
It will be next week because Max is going to be in Mexico.
2 Geeks podcast, greatest podcast ever. You guys, thanks for having me on 2 Geeks.
Dude, me and my mom gave Kylie one rule for Mexico, and she's not allowed to get further than an inch from you, Max.
I got it. Don't worry. No one's getting kidnapped on my watch.
We're all like, just stay with Max. If Max goes to the bathroom, you wait right outside that door.
It's like
hand him Febreze from the over top.
It's great. I was like, really, Liz and Kylie are the only high value targets in our group. Everyone else is too proud to be cared about.
Oh, gee.
Hey, man, look. There's one thing this is good for. That's not getting kidnapped.
Well, the Mexican cartel killed a couple of Americans like this past week, and they sent an apology note. They're like, "Hey, sorry, we killed Americans."
Don't come over the 2 Geeks podcast. After that statement, this is now the Max podcast. You guys can send your hate to maxpodcast@gmail.com.
Max podcast.
We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Recycle your droids.